The Aroostook Centre Mall has a new owner. The mall's general manager told our sister station WAGM today that an agreement has been reached between Cohan Retail Investment Group and local developer Dana Cassidy. The general manager says he was surprised by the number of people who have stepped in to help since the mall's closure was announced on February 26th. We're told the next steps are to transfer the necessary services into Cassidy's name and develop a strategy of how to best approach the future of the mall. This will be the first time in the mall's 30-year history that it has local ownership.